Hi, my name is David Ansbacher, and I'm a transportation planner at the Montgomery County Planning Department and the project manager for Montgomery County's Bicycle Master Plan. We are excited to share with you the progress we have made on the bike plan. In this presentation, we will discuss first, the purpose of the master plan, second, the timeline, third, the framework for the plan, fourth, a proposed approach to classifying bikeways, fifth, our approach for selecting a bikeway for different types of roads, sixth, the proposed bikeway network, seventh, our efforts to engage a diverse group of community members in the planning process, and eighth, our next steps in the project. First, I will go over the purpose of the master plan. Traditionally, bicycle plans in Montgomery County and in much of the country have focused on two groups of bicyclists, those commuting to work by bicycle and family members who may be riding in their neighborhoods or on trails. But bicycling has always been about so much more than commuting and recreating. People choose to bicycle for the same reasons they choose to drive, walk, or take transit. They want to run errands, go to school, access transit, and have fun. The Bicycle Master Plan is recognizing all of these types of trips in the planning process. A second purpose of the Bicycle Master Plan is to recognize the different types of bicyclists and how they respond to what the bicycle planning world calls traffic stress. Planners categorize different types of roads based on how much traffic stress they generate for people when bicycling. Surveys tell us that high-stress roads such as Georgia Avenue and Rockville Pike are appropriate for about 1 to 4% of the population. Moderate stress roads such as Fenton Street in Silver Spring, Norfolk Avenue in Bethesda, and Muncaster Road in Durwood are appropriate for about 10% of the population. However, 60% of the population is only comfortable bicycling on residential streets, park trails, and paths along the road. And another third of the population expresses that they are not interested in bicycling. A third purpose for doing a bicycle plan is to inform project implementation decisions. The master plan will help to identify and prioritize county bikeway projects to be funded in the county's capital improvement program. It will also help planners determine when a developer needs to implement a bikeway. Next, I will go over the timeline for the bicycle master plan. The plan started in September 2015 when the Montgomery County Planning Board approved a scope of work for the bike plan. A scope of work defines the context, purpose, and major issues to resolve for the plan and highlights the process and timeline proposed by the Planning Department staff to develop the plan. That same month, the Planning Department released the Cycling Concerns Map, which provided the community an opportunity to identify locations of concern to them. We received nearly 2,000 comments on this map and have used the comments to develop our preliminary bikeway recommendations. Also in September 2015, we initiated a series of 5 kickoff meetings in locations around the county. In December 2015 and January 2016, we unveiled small area bike plans for the White Flint and Life Sciences Center areas. Due to the pace of development in these areas, the Planning Department advanced work in the areas so that meaningful opportunities to construct segments of the bikeway network were not lost before the Bicycle Master Plan is completed. These documents are available on our website. In April 2016, we released the Bicycle Stress Map. The map evaluates each road and trail segment in the county based on the amount of traffic stress that bicyclists experience when riding on them. The map is available at www.mcatlas.org/bikestress. In 2016, the Planning Board approved the framework report for the Bicycle Master Plan, which outlines the approach that the staff is taking in developing the draft plan. Also in October 2016, we released bicycle parking guidelines. Both documents are available on our website. And in June 2017, we're engaging the public in another series of community meetings and through our online Bikeway React map to solicit feedback on our preliminary bikeway recommendations. The map is available at www.mcatlas.org/bikereact. Going forward, we plan to release a bicycle facility design toolkit in July. This will be followed by a draft plan in the fall. The Planning Board will then hold a public hearing on the working draft plan, conduct work sessions to review comments from the public hearing, and ultimately will transmit the Planning Board's draft to the County Council. The County Council will then hold a public hearing on the Planning Board's draft, conduct work sessions to review comments from the public hearing, and ultimately will approve the Bicycle Master Plan. As mentioned earlier, the Montgomery County Planning Board approved a framework report for the Bicycle Master Plan in October 2016. This report organizes the bike plan into 3 sections. The first section is defining a vision for the bike plan through a vision statement, goals, objectives, and metrics. The second section is realizing the vision of the bike plan through bicycle infrastructure and bicycle supportive programs and policies. The third section is monitoring the vision by reporting back to the community every 2 years how we are doing at implementing the plan based on the goals and objectives we have set. The vision statement for the plan is that Montgomery County will become a world-class bicycling community. Everyone in Montgomery County will be able to travel by bicycle on a comfortable, safe, and connected bicycle network. Bicycling will become a viable transportation option and elevate the quality of life in the county. This is articulated by 4 goals. Goal 1 is to increase bicycling trips in Montgomery County. Goal 2 is to create a highly connected, convenient, and low-stress bicycling network. Goal 3 is to provide equal access to low-stress bicycling for all members of the community. And Goal 4 is to improve the safety of bicycling. Realizing the vision includes bikeway recommendations, such as those proposed for downtown Silver Spring. It also includes recommendations for bike stations. These are long-term bicycle storage facilities which will be recommended at all major transit stations. Examples are shown here of an urban bike station located at a rail station in Berkeley, California, and a suburban bike station at a light rail station in Austin, Texas. And this is an example of the monitoring report. It will track how well we are doing at implementing the plan through the goals, objectives, and metrics that are established in the plan. So for example, one metric is the percentage of dwelling units within 2 miles of a red line station that can access the station on a completely low-stress bicycling network. Based on our current evaluation, about 18% of dwelling units within 2 miles of a red line station can get to that station on a completely low-stress bicycling network. We will set targets for how much we want to increase that percentage in 5 and 10 years, and then report back to the public where we are every 2 years. Much of the analysis in the bike plan is underpinned by our bicycle stress map. This map evaluated each road and trail segment in the county based on a level of traffic stress, from very high to very low or none. A very high traffic stress road would be Rockville Pike, and a very low traffic stress road would be many residential streets in the county. This map was awarded the 2017 National Planning Achievement Award for Transportation Planning by the American Planning Association. The framework report is available on our webpage at montgomeryplanning.org/bikeplan. Since Montgomery County first approved a bike plan in 1978, the county has designated roads with a bikeway classification. For many years, this consisted of shared use paths, bike lanes, and shared roads in which bicyclists share the road with automobiles. In the past 10 years, we have added separated bike lanes into the group. Separated bike lanes are also known as cycle tracks. As part of the Bicycle Master Plan, we are recommending a new approach to categorizing bikeways based on their level of separation from traffic. We have developed 5 facility types, from trails, which have the most separation from traffic, to shared roads, which have no separation from traffic. These categories are then further subdivided with bikeway types. The first category is trails, which have the most separation from traffic. Trails include off-street trails, such as the Bethesda Trolley Trail shown here, the Capitol Crescent Trail, and the Metropolitan Branch Trail. Trails are paths that are located outside of the road right-of-way, typically along a rail or utility corridor. Stream Valley Park trails are similar, except that they are located along a stream, and due to the environmental sensitivity of the area, they are often challenging to upgrade. Separated bikeways provide physical separation from traffic and include side paths and separated bike lanes. Side paths are shared-use paths located parallel to and within the road right-of-way. They provide two-way travel designated for walking, bicycling, jogging, skating, etc. Separated bike lanes are exclusive space for bicycling that physically separates bicycling from both traffic and the sidewalk. They are appropriate in areas with higher levels of walking and bicycling, including commercial areas and around transit stations. Striped bikeways are designated spaces for bicycling that are distinguished from traffic lanes and shoulders by striping and pavement markings. Buffered bike lanes are conventional bike lanes paired with a buffer space, separating the bike lane from the adjacent motor vehicle travel lane, thereby providing additional comfort to cyclists. Conventional bike lanes, or simply bike lanes, are portions of the street that have been designated by striping, signing, and pavement markings for use by bicyclists. Advisory bike lanes are dash bike lanes that allow motorists to temporarily enter the bike lane to provide oncoming traffic sufficient space to safely pass on narrow, unlaned residential streets. While our only regional examples of an advisory bike lane are in Alexandria, they have been used extensively in Europe, and there are a number of examples in Minnesota. We're not recommending any roads to have advisory bike lanes at this time, but think that they should be piloted by the county. Contraflow bike lanes are bike lanes designed to allow bicyclists to ride in the opposite direction of motor vehicle traffic. They convert a one-way traffic street into a two-way street, one direction for motor vehicles and bikes, and the other for bikes only. Bikeable shoulders are portions of the road that accommodate stopped or parked vehicles, emergency vehicles, bicyclists and motor scooters, and pedestrians where sidewalks do not exist. Bikeable shoulders of at least 4 feet in width can improve the comfort of bicycling on some roadways for some bicyclists. They are most appropriate in rural locations in the county, often where posted speed limits are 40 miles per hour and higher, and typically would be used by recreational cyclists. Shared roads are bikeways that share space with automobiles. Of course, all streets where bicycles share space with automobiles are shared roads, only some are being called out in the master plan. Neighborhood greenways are a type of shared road that is appropriate on residential streets. They are streets with low volumes and speeds of motor vehicles. They use pavement markings and speed and volume management measures to discourage through trips by motor vehicles and create safe, convenient crossings of busy roads. In this photo from Portland, the neighborhood greenway is using traffic diversion to reduce cut-through traffic. So while pedestrians and bicyclists are able to go straight through this intersection, motorists must turn left or right. Shared streets are an urban design approach where pedestrians, bicyclists, and motor vehicles can comfortably coexist. They prioritize pedestrian and bicycle movement by slowing vehicular speeds, usually to no more than 15 miles per hour, and communicating clearly through design features that motorists must yield to all other users. Motorists are considered guests in this environment. In this image, there are cues to all road users to slow down and look for others, including different pavement materials and the removal of curbs so that the sidewalk and the street are at the same level. Priority shared lane markings are intended to be used in rare instances where there is another bikeway facility type that we would prefer to implement, but there is just not enough space to do so. The Bicycle Master Plan is attempting to turn bicycle planning into more of a science and less of an art by developing clear principles about when different bikeway types are appropriate. This includes separating the bikeway from traffic in areas with high traffic volumes and high traffic speeds, separating bicycling from pedestrians in areas with a lot of walking and bicycling, including commercial areas and around transit stations. A third principle is that on wide roads with long distances between safe crossings, it is desirable to have a two-way bikeway on both sides of the road. The photo in this slide is on Middlebrook Road in Germantown. The right side of the road is lined with homes and there is a shared use path. The left side of the road is commercial and has a sidewalk. So officially, a bicyclist on the commercial side of the road who wants to travel north needs to cross Middlebrook Road, travel north along the shared use path, and then cross Middlebrook Road again. But most people wouldn't want to cross Middlebrook Road twice. They would just want to ride on the sidewalk. So we should plan for that with a two-way bikeway on both sides of the road. A fourth principle is that we should consider upgrading the sidewalk to a shared use path on primary residential streets near schools. Primary residential streets are typically streets with homes on both sides of the road, one or two rows of on-street parking, and a striped yellow center line down the middle of the road. They tend to have higher traffic than other residential streets, and while they may be appropriate for most adults to bicycle on, they're not appropriate for children. This table recommends a specific bikeway type based on the functional classification of the road, from controlled major highways such as US 29 to low-volume residential streets. The number of lanes of traffic and whether that area has a high or low level of activity. So for a major highway such as Middlebrook Road, we would ideally have side paths on both sides of the street. The bikeway network in a bike plan often draws the most interest from the public. As part of the Bicycle Master Plan, we are recommending an extensive network of bikeways. Construction of this network will have potential impacts to the streetscape, and there will be temporary disruptions. And as an extensive network, we will need to prioritize what gets built in the next 20 years. Bikeway recommendations are organized by a geography known as a policy area, and there are about 40 policy areas in the county. Each policy area has a map that shows the recommended bikeways and an accompanying table that explains those recommendations in greater detail. The bikeway maps are available on our webpage at montgomeryplanning.org/bikeplan. Overall, we are recommending a network of over 1,000 miles of bikeways. Of that, over 250 miles exist today and 780 miles remain to be built, including 400 miles of side paths, over 140 miles of separated bike lanes, and 50 miles of neighborhood greenways. We are taking comments on our bikeway recommendations through July 15th. Please visit www.mcatlas.org/bikereact to comment on these recommendations. The Bicycle Master Plan has included an extensive outreach effort. This includes a 20-person community advisory group, which includes 8 members that represent geographic areas of the county and 12 members who represent stakeholder groups. The groups provide feedback on all aspects of development of the Bicycle Master Plan and meet about once a month. We have developed several online feedback maps, including the Cycling Concerns map that received almost 2,000 comments. We have a newsletter that is sent out 2 to 3 times per month to keep the public up to date on developments with the Bicycle Master Plan. You can sign up for this newsletter on our webpage. You can follow us on Twitter at MCBikePlan. And we have participated in several community-led bike rides, including this bike ride in the Wheaton area. In 2016, we participated in bike rides in Albany, Colesville, and Burtonsville. We have also sponsored events such as our photo contest to get people interested in the Bicycle Master Plan and to help build our library of photos of bicycling around the county. For our next steps, we will revise the preliminary bikeway network based on feedback we received through July 15th, 2017. We will then develop and evaluate scenarios and prioritize our recommendations. We anticipate releasing the working draft of the Bicycle Master Plan in fall 2017. Again, my name is David Anspacher, and I'm the project manager for the Bicycle Master Plan. My contact information is on this slide, and most of the information presented is available at montgomeryplanning.org/bikeplan.